Has everyone written that?
Yes, sir.
अगर कोई भी बच्चा है जिसने नहीं लिखा है, someone hasn't written, तो please raise your hand. Okay. In that case, we can start with the next part. So this was the basic understanding of sigma, like how to solve sigma, how to interpret sigma. What does sigma mean? Why did it came in picture? To write the larger expressions to very short format. Yeah. Sure. So now let's start with properties of sigma. There are some basic properties which you need to know. First property. So let's say generally this limit is from I is from 1 to n, and this is k. Now can someone interpret this for me? What should be the first value? When you put I is equals to 1, what will you get? Now there is a confusion. Confusion is that here the variable is I, but we are not getting I in the function. So this function will act as constant for this sigma. This is k. So when you put I is equals to 1, it will be k only. When you put I is equals to 2, it will be again k, because there is nothing, there is no variable called I in this function. Whenever this will happen, you will just be writing this k how many times? The total terms in this sigma. Yeah. So you will write k when I is 1. You will write k when I is 2. You will write k when I is 3. Similarly, you will write k when I is n, because this function does not depend on I. So the value of this function will always be same. Whatever you put the value for I, you won't be getting any value other than k for the function. So this will be n times, which can be generalized as k into n. In fact, write it as k into number of terms of sigma. Let's apply this. For example, you're given this question that I is from 1 to 4, and here you got 7. So when you put I1, the answer will be 7 only. When you put I2, the answer will be 7 only. When you put I3, this will be 7. When you put I4, this will be 7, because this does not depend on I. So you can directly write it as 7 into 4, because you are adding 7 4 times. So instead of adding 7 4 times, you can directly write as 7 into 4, which will be 28. So let's say I have been given this. I is from 3 to 8. And here we got 60. Here, let's say 6. Hanji, what should be the answer? How many times we will write C? 6.
For 8 times.
8.
Why 8? Is this I?
Because the total number of times.
No, Safa. Is this I starting with 1?
3.
3, right? So if I is starting with 3, how can the total number of terms be 8? If it would have been, if the lower limit would have been 1, then only the total terms would have been 8.
So then it would be 5, sir.
5? Why 5? Okay, you directly subtracted this, right?
Yeah.
8 minus 3. But no. Okay, let's count. 3. When you put I3, you will get 6. When you put I4, again 6. I5, I6, I7, and I8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are total 6 terms.
Okay.
How would you get that directly? Think about this, that I has started from 3, which means that we have forgot to take, we have left out 2 values, 1 and 2. There are total 8 values. Agar ye I 1 se start hota, if it would have been 1, there will be total 8 values, but it started from 3, means that it left out 2 values. So the values should have been 8. Because of 2 missing values, 8 minus 2, there are total 6 terms. Okay, let's solve this. Let me check whether you learn this or not. Anji, what's the final answer? Tell me the final answer. Only in chats. Everyone. You can text me your answer. Total terms would have been 8 if this lower limit started from 1. But it hasn't. It started with 3. Means it left out, yeah, correct, Safa. Good. Means that it left out 2 terms. 8 terms hona chahiye tha. 2 terms are missing. Hence the total are 6 terms. That's the logic. Now you need to apply this logic in C part. Total terms should be 15, but you have forgot to take some starting wale terms. कितना terms? Starting में हमने छोड़ दिया 6. 1 से लेके 6 तक we haven't counted. So we have already left out 6 terms. Total should be 15, but we have left out 6 terms. That is total are 9 terms. So the answer should be 4 into 9. That is 36. Fahad, समझ आया ये?
Yes, sir.
तो फिर इसका आंसर बताओ. Yeah, sorry. Jania, can you understand Hindi? You
Yes,
understand
sir. A bit. Yeah.
a bit. Okay, good. So let's solve this one.
So
We won't talk much in Hindi. Yeah. Someone was asking something.
yeah, so me.
Yeah, please.
So ये मुझे ना कुछ भी नहीं समझा.
अच्छा. कैसे हम फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, ये वाला,
नहीं ये वाला ही सर. हाँ.
हाँ, तो देख, जब भी हमारे पास सिग्मा के अंदर कांस्टेंट होगा. अब सिग्मा के अंदर कांस्टेंट क्या है? जो भी सिग्मा का वेरिएबल है, अगर उसके अलावा कोई वेरिएबल यूज करके तूने यहाँ पे बनाया है ये फंक्शन, या सिर्फ कांस्टेंट यूज करके बनाया है, तो इसको हम डायरेक्टली लिख सकते हैं. वो फंक्शन दैट इज दिस के इनटू टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स. टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स कैसे निकालेंगे वो भी देखते हैं, बट चल पहले बेसिक से ये स्टार्ट करते हैं क्वेश्चन.
सर फर्स्ट वाला आया, बस सेकंड और थर्ड नहीं आया.
ठीक है, तो सेकंड वाले में प्रॉब्लम ये है कि देखिए ये तो 6 है ही. 6 into total number of terms कर दो. Now I have to find out the total number of terms in this case, right? एक सेकेंड. गलत है थरीफ. थोड़ा ही गलत है, मतलब जो गलती नहीं होनी चाहिए थी वही करी है. टर्म्स को गिनने में तूने काउंट करने में गलती की है, तो फिर से देख. तो यहाँ पे हमें देखने में लग रहा है कि टोटल 8 टर्म्स होनी चाहिए थी, क्योंकि अपर लिमिट 8 है. बट टर्म्स कितनी है इसका अपर लिमिट से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. पहली बात, अपर लिमिट है मतलब जहां तक हमें वैल्यूज पुट करनी होगी आई की, और लोअर लिमिट होगा कहीं ना कहीं से स्टार्ट होगा. तो लेट्स से लोअर लिमिट यहाँ पे 3 है, अपर लिमिट 8 है. 8 टर्म्स होती है अगर आई की वैल्यू 1 से स्टार्ट होती और 8 तक जाती तो. बट अभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ. अभी आई की वैल्यू 3 से स्टार्ट हुई है, तो बेसिकली हमने 2 वैल्यूज पहले ही छोड़ दी. वी हैव लेफ्ट आउट 2 वैल्यूज. टोटल 8 होनी चाहिए थी अगर i 1 से स्टार्ट होता, बट आपने किया 3 से स्टार्ट, यानी कि आपने 2 कम कर दी, तो टोटल 6 टर्म्स। टोटल टर्म 6, वैल्यू भी अंदर 6, तो 6 इंटू 6 36। अभी नेक्स्ट पे एक बार फिर से, मुझे पता है 4 इंटू मुझे टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स करना है, तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स नहीं मास, गलत है थोड़ा, सॉरी यार, एक सेकंड, या करेक्ट है मास, 22 दिया ना, हाँ ठीक है, या करेक्ट। तो टोटल टर्म्स देख, यहाँ पे 15 होना चाहिए था अगर ये i का वैल्यू 1 से स्टार्ट होता, बट एरर स्टार्ट तो नहीं हुआ ना 1 से, राइट? स्टार्ट कहां से हुआ?
7 से।
7 से हुआ स्टार्ट, तो इसका मतलब तूने कुछ वैल्यूज छोड़ दी ना, कितनी छोड़ी? अगर 1 से होता
8 वैल्यूज।
8 की छोड़ी, 6 छोड़ी ना, 1 2 3 4 5 6, ये 6 वैल्यूज तूने छोड़ दी, ये नहीं ली तूने, तूने 7 से स्टार्ट करा इसको। एम आई करेक्ट? अच्छा अच्छा, एक बात ऐसे समझ, अगर यहाँ पे i की वैल्यू 1 से 15 तक जा रही होती, तो इसका मतलब यही तो होता ना कि पहले आप i को 1 रखोगे, फिर i को 2, फिर 3, फिर 4, फिर 5, और चलते 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 आप जाओगे 15 तक। करेक्ट बात है, ये तो समझ आया तेरे को इंटरप्रिटेशन इसका? ठीक है। अभी देख यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि हमने i को 1 से स्टार्ट नहीं किया, हमने i को स्टार्ट किया लेट्स से 7 से। तो अगर i 1 से स्टार्ट होकर 15 तक जाता, तो इन दैट केस योर अपर लिमिट इज द टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स। इफ लोअर लिमिट इज 1, तो जो भी अपर लिमिट है दैट इज द टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स। बट अगर लोअर लिमिट 1 नहीं है, तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स अपर लिमिट जितना नहीं होगी। हाँ, तारीफ करेक्ट है, मास भी करेक्ट है, सफा भी करेक्ट है यार। तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स 15 नहीं होगी, यानी कि अपर लिमिट के बराबर नहीं होगी। अब टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स कितनी होगी? कितनी होगी? तो आप ऐसे सोचो कि अगर 1 से स्टार्ट होता 15 तक जाता, तो 15 होती टोटल टर्म्स। बट ये 1 से स्टार्ट नहीं किए, इसने स्टार्ट किया 7 से, यानी कि इसने 6 टर्म्स ऑलरेडी लीव कर दी, पहली 6, 1 से 6 तक की। तो टोटल 15 होनी चाहिए थी अगर i 1 से स्टार्ट होता, बट क्योंकि आप 7 से स्टार्ट कर रहे हो, तो आपने 6 टर्म्स को हटा दिया 15 से, यानी कि अभी ये टोटल 9 टर्म्स बची। वो तो काउंट भी करके देख सकती है, 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15, बट डायरेक्टली सॉल्व करने का तरीका ये है ना। अभी समझ आया था?
हाँ सर, समझा अभी।
चल फिर, अभी मुझे इसमें पता है इसमें टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स कितनी होनी चाहिए, ये जो सिग्मा मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है। टेल मी हाउ मेनी टर्म्स दिस सिग्मा कंटेन। अच्छा ये बताइए, आई की वैल्यू 1 से स्टार्ट होता तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स कितनी होती?
22।
22। बट अभी आई 1 से तो स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ, राइट?
9 से।
तो कितना टर्म्स हमने पहले लीव करा?
8।
8, राइट? 22 होती है अगर 1 से स्टार्ट होता, 9 से करा तो आपने 8 टर्म्स लीव कर दी, यानी कि जो टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स होनी चाहिए वो होनी चाहिए 22 माइनस 8, am I correct?
14।
14 into this number 11, 14 into 11 154 actually that's। समझ आई बात? पहला रूल सभी लोगों को समझ आया?
समझा।
ठीक है। तो बहुत ही बेसिक रूल सबसे पहला तो ये है कि अगर कोई भी सिर्फ कांस्टेंट है, सिर्फ कांस्टेंट है वो, तो आप कांस्टेंट इनटू नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स कर दीजिए। नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स को निकालते हुए ध्यान रखिएगा लोअर लिमिट कहां से स्टार्ट हो रहा है। इफ लोअर लिमिट इज 1, then your upper limit is the total number of terms. But if your lower limit is not 1, then to find total number of terms, you should subtract the number of terms left from upper limit. Can I remove this slide? Can we proceed? अगर कोई बचा है तो just raise your hand. If you haven't written this, just raise your hand and stay like that till the time you are writing. Whenever you are done, just down your hand. Okay. So the first property was this. Now the second property is if some constant is in either multiplication or division with your function. So this k is constant, right? If this constant is in multiplication with your function, then this constant can be taken out from the sigma. That is, you can write this something along the line. Now, iska proof, you have already done this proof. Where when I was explaining sigma, so I put that example, na 3i square wala. Sigma I is from 1 to 4, 3i square. That was the same example. In that case, in that example, I tried to explain this logic, but I'll explain again. So let's solve one example. Let's solve this 4 into I. Well, let's solve I by 4. So here your constant is in divide. Either the constant is in divide or the constant is in multiplication. Both work same ways. So here we got i's from 1 to 10. And then this is I by 4. Now let's start expanding this. So when we will expand, we will put I1. This will be 1 by 4. Then we will put I2. This will be 2 by 4. Sigma will do its thing, which would be what? Putting these positive signs in between all the terms. Then I is 3, 3 by 4. Then I is 4, 4 by 4. Then 5 by 4. Then 6 by 4. Similarly, 10 by 4. Oh. You can take 1 by 4 common from all these terms. So this will be 1 plus 2 plus 3, similarly up to 10. Now this is nothing but 1 by 4 sigma I is from 1 to 10. If you'll expand this, you'll get 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to 10. Sum of first 10 natural numbers. So you can directly write this as, you can take your constant out from the sigma if that is being multiplied with some variable or divided. Second property is this. So I can easily write if this is 4i square upon 5 and this is some i's from 1 to n. So I can, while solving, I can write this as 4 by 5 outside sigma I is from 1 to n I square.
Can the final answer of such questions be in decimal?
We will learn that.
Sorry?
We will learn that. We just
Okay.
need to first we'll learn the rules, properties of sigma, then we'll learn these final answers as well.
Okay.
Now, second thing. So let's say, third property. Let's say there are two functions, fi and gi. There are two expressions which contains I. There are two or more than two, however number of expressions. And these two expressions, either we are adding or subtracting these two expressions, right? So what we can do is we can distribute sigma. We can distribute sigma. You can also write this. We can distribute sigma over addition and subtraction. We can distribute sigma over addition and subtraction. What does distribution mean? Distribution means that this sigma can be individually applied on fi and then it can be individually applied on gn. But only if these two are in addition or subtraction. What I'm trying to say is, let's understand this with an illustration. Let's say I have been given this. I plus I square, and then this I was from 1 to 3. So one way to solve this is you put I is equals to 1, you will get 1 plus 1 square. Then you will put I2, then you will get 2 plus 2 square. Sigma will do its thing. It will put plus sign in between. Then you will put I3, 3 plus 3 square. So one way to do this is this. I mean, you can expand the whole expression. Whatever is written, you remove sigma and you expand that value, right? But a more optimized way to solve this should be, you can write this as the sigma I is from 1 to 3. I plus I square can also be written as sigma I, where I is from 1 to 3, plus sigma I square. I is from 1 to 3 as well. Now you can directly find out this as well as this. These are direct formulae only. We will discuss this formulae, but first we will have to learn the rule of sigma. So whenever, if minus would have been if minus would be in place of plus, then also no problem. You can distribute sigma over addition as well as subtraction. In this case, I have given you addition, but there could be another case which is involved with subtraction. Yes.
So, sir, if it's plus or minus, then there would be two cases, right?
There may be many cases. If it's written something along this, I square plus root I, sorry, this should be, I mean, we should put this minus. Then there will be three cases, Safa.
Yeah.
Sigma I plus sigma I square plus sigma minus sigma root I. And where whatever the limit is, this limit will remain same along all the expressions.
But sir, if it's like the example you gave, it was f of I mean in the property f of I plus or minus g of I. So
Yeah.
only in this case, there would be one answer where f of I plus g of I, and the second one would be f of I minus g of I.
Yeah, in that, no, I have what I have tried to say in that example is, I mean, in that property is that whether it's plus or whether it's minus, it doesn't matter. If it's plus, we will also use plus here. If it's minus, we will also use minus here.
Okay.
Yeah, there are no two answers. There should be, I mean, there will be one answer. Either it would be plus or it would be minus.
Sir, can you just give an example for plus or minus as well?
Yeah. I have given this example, na? So for this one, you can use this sigma
Okay.
I is from 1 to n plus sigma I square, same limit. Then again minus sigma root I, same limit. Yeah. This was your third property. Is everyone done? Okay. Let's understand the fourth property. I mean, this is not a property, but yeah, you should remember this, that sigma is not distributed over addition, sorry, over multiplication and division. So let's say there are two functions, fx into gx, and you have been given this limit of x is from 1 to n. So you cannot write this as sigma fx into sigma gx. No, this is wrong. You cannot distribute sigma over multiplication or division. Okay, so if limit is not given, it is understood that the limit is from 1 to n. If I write sigma like this, it means that the limit is from 1 to n. That is standard notation. So it means that here also limit is I mean x is from 1 to n. And here also x is from 1 to n, 1 to n, right? But these are not equal expressions. These are not same. So you cannot distribute sigma over multiplication and division. Shall you then start with questions? Solve some questions. I mean, no. Let's first understand some of the formulae we'll be using for series. So there are 4 basic formulae. 3 is given in your book only, and 1 I will tell you. There are 4 both basic formulae which will be used throughout this series chapter or topic. Let's understand what are these rules. Give me one. Let me check कितना दिया हुआ है बुक में ना तुम्हारे. अच्छा ठीक है इसने तो बस इतना ही दिया ना single one times. Okay. So yeah, there are only 3 rules given in your book, but there will be 4 rules which I will be telling you. So the first rule is these are called, by the way, special series. You should remember these series. These are very basic series. First of all, very basic. Like there are so many types of series, but these 3 are the very basic. Like the first 3 I'll be teaching. Everyone is teaching these first 3 rules. So these are, I mean, using them we can create a lot of series, but these are basic. Let's understand what we are saying. Anji, we have written sigma I is from 1 to n I. So this is the function of sigma. This is the lower limit of sigma, and this is the upper limit of sigma. So we will start putting the values from 1 to n. So this will be looking some, if I expand this, it will look something like this. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
This is nothing but sum of first n natural numbers. And this is also an AP. And you've already solved this series. How can it be solved? Total number of terms is n by 2. I am just applying the formula for what? AP. Number of terms divided by 2, first term plus last term. This is n into n plus 1 by 2. For example, if you ask me this question, that what is sigma I is from 1 to 50. So what I would say is that we want to find out the sum of first 50 natural numbers. This is starting from 1 to 50. Hence, this should look like this, which would be
51.
Yeah. 50 into 51 divided by 2, which would be 1275.
1275.
Yes.
Sir, you had earlier mentioned that whenever it's just sigma and the values of I and n are not given, then what should we take it as?
Then it would be the answer would come in n, in terms of n. This
N.
answer should be n into n plus 1 by 2. Similar, just similar to this.
Okay, sir.
Now let's understand second series. If I square these numbers, that is, this will be basically sum of squares of first n natural numbers. That is 1 square, 2 square, similarly going up to n square. So this is nothing but sum of squares of first n natural numbers. And the formula would be n plus 1, 2n plus 1 divided by 6. So for example, if somebody asks me, what is the sum for 1 to 15? I square plus I square plus I. So what I can write is, first of all, okay, let me make this tougher. Just wait. So this is 3i square minus 4i. So I can clearly observe that in this case, there are two terms related to I. So first of all, I should distribute sigma like this. 1 to 15 minus sigma 4i, because there is a negative, I mean, we are subtracting these two functions, so we can distribute sigma, that is valid. Sigma can be distributed over addition and subtraction, so this is valid. Now I can take 3 out and 4 out from this sigma and 3 out from this sigma. So this is nothing but 3 sigma I square minus 4 sigma I, and I is from 1 to 15. So this is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square up to 15 square. And this is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to 15. So this can be written as 3. Now n is 15 in this case. So this should be n plus 1. Yani ke 15 into n plus 1 is 16 into 2n plus 1, that is twice of 15, 30 plus 1, 31 divided by 6. Nothing, don't worry about it. I have just applied the formula. N is 15, so put 15. 15 into 16 into 31 divided by 6 minus 4 into, this is 15 into 16 divided by 2. The final answer, you can calculate that.
84,000.
But that is how you can calculate. That is how you can use the formula. Third formula is the sum of cubes of first and natural numbers. Anji, I can remove this. Anybody left? Please raise your hand.
So to subtract this, we can like take things common out, right? Like 50.
Yeah, yes, we should.
Yeah.
We should take 15 into 16 common.
Yeah, I took them common and I got it.
31 by 2 minus 2. So it should be 27 by 2. Okay, 8. 15 into 8 is 120. 120 into, what was this? 27. Okay. 127.
I got
This should be the answer.
like 480 into 185. After taking things common and subtracting.
Okay, so this should be the answer. So the final answer should be 3240.
Yes, sir.
You can check. Okay, so the third property is, third formula is the sum of cubes of first n natural numbers. That is, if we write this as sigma I cube i's from 1 to n. So this would become something like this. This would be nothing but the square of first answer. First answer was n into n plus 1 by 2. And this would be the whole square of that answer. So for example, let's solve this. Anji, what would be the answer? Chalo, fatafat, tell me. Chalo, galat answer do. Tell me a wrong answer. Are you'll anyway be telling me the wrong answer. So don't worry about it. Tell me what should be the acha. Oh, okay. Sorry. The values greater. Acha. Okay, so take it 10. I is from 4 to 10. Now don't start solving it with calculator. I mean, can't solve it like that. You have to tell the answer using series, formula of series. And in this way, you can calculate it much faster than calculator. I mean, you'll be taking a lot of time in solving this using calculator. Anji, kya hona chahiye answer? What should be the answer? Jania, would you tell me the answer? I mean, try this. Maz, समझ आया अभी तक जो पढ़ रहे थे हम?
जी सर।
चल फिर ये वाला आंसर बता, ट्राई कर। I की वैल्यू 4 to 10 है, I क्यूब.
Is it
Solve this
28
example.
square?
28 square. Why? Because this n is 7.
Yes.
Acha, 9. So, mass, what we can, good observation. Chalo, good. The thing is, we don't need to calculate the terms this time. This is the formula, and we can only apply this when I is starting from 1. You can only find out the sum of cubes of first n natural numbers. I mean, you have to start with 1. If you're not starting with 1, there is no formula. Now, the formula is not valid according to the number of terms. That was only for that case. जब constant होगा sigma के अंदर, जब constant होगा तो सीधा number of terms से multiply कर. But वो वहीं पे valid होगा सिर्फ. Nowhere else. You can't say like कि भाई n की value यहाँ पे 7 है ना. So the formula, all of these formulae are only valid when the lower limit is starting from 1. That is why I have written, see, I have written this first sum of cubes of first n natural numbers. First n natural numbers का मतलब यही था कि you have to start your lower limit from 1. Now, when you take I from 4, what did you miss? Anyone? What did you miss? When I started I from 4, what are the terms that I missed according to this formula? I missed the term for I is equals to 1, I is equals to 2, I is equals to 3. अगर ये I is from 1 to 10 होता, तो I can simply, I would have simply written this. If this would have been 1, I would have simply written it as 10 into 11 divided by 2 whole square. Right? But I'm not asking you this. I'm asking you, I is from 4 to 10. IQ, which is not valid according to the formula. So what we can do is, we have missed 3 terms. That is, we have missed 1 cube, we have missed 2 cube, we have missed 3 cube. This can be written as 4 cube से लेके 10 cube तक का sum. 4 cube plus 5 cube plus 6 cube plus 7 cube, and similarly up to 10 cube. So what should be done? We should start this with 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube. We should add these terms as well as subtract these terms. Add these 3 terms to complete the series. Also subtract these 3 terms. In that way,
Add and subtract?
the missed terms, whatever the missing terms, whatever the values of I we have missed, we should add those terms as well as subtract those terms. So we have missed the first 3 terms, right? According to the formula, we have missed the first 3 terms. So what we are doing is, we are adding 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube from our side, but we can't just add, we have to balance the equation. So you will have to subtract them as well.
So they'll just get cancelled at that point.
Yeah, so we can actually write it as I is from 1 to 10, I cube minus sigma is I is from 1 to 3, I cube. This is the sum of sum of cubes of first 10 natural numbers, and the second expression inside bracket is sum of cubes of first 3 natural numbers. You can directly apply the formula now. 10 into 11 by 2 whole square minus 3 into 4 by 2 whole square. Because n in this case is 3 and n in this case is 10. Whatever the answer is, I'm not interested in the answer. I'm just interested in the concept. These are calculation, you will do them. You'll have to. You will get no choice. Acha ji, last formula. So last formula is a very interesting one. How do you write odd numbers? Can anyone tell me how do we write odd numbers? To represent any odd number, we can use this form, 2y plus 1 or 2y minus 1. So let's use 2y plus 1. No, 2y minus 1. So if you write I1, this will become 1. If you write I2, this will become 3. If you put I3, this will become 5. So this is nothing but sum of first n odd numbers.
So is 0 an even number? Just a random thought.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
0 is an even number?
Yes. Okay. What's an even number? Safa, let's answer that. Which is
In sigma I equals 1, the whole into 2i.
no. I'm asking you what is an even number. What do you understand by an even number?
2, 3, 4. I mean 2, 4, 6, 8. Like
Now, how did you identify that 2, 4, and 6 are even numbers? There must be a definition, na?
I don't know.
How do you define even numbers?
It'd be like a pair, like
Any number which is divisible by 2.
oh yeah, any number divisible by 2.
So is 0 divisible by 2? Yes, of course. 0 is divisible by 2. 0 is divisible by every number.
Yeah.
So 0 should be even number.
Okay, sir.
Also, Safa, even numbers can be negative, positive. I mean, we have just, we have only seen the positive even numbers, but even numbers can be negative as well. I mean, -2, -4, -6 are also even numbers. They're just negative. They are not of much use, but they are still even numbers. Okay, so this is basically sum of first n odd numbers, and a very interesting formula to follow. The sum of first n odd numbers is n square. Now let's comprehend that. There are proofs for every formula, but we are not will not go deep into the proofs. Will not be asked the proofs. Rather, you will be asked the questions based on series. But we have to understand this fourth wala formula. I'll just write all of this. Is anybody left? Safa, I didn't get your voice.
Yeah, I didn't ask you now. Actually, sir, I was doing set exercises, and in that exercise 1.2 fourth question, it's like state whether A is equal to B or not. So set A is the elements are like 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, whereas for B it is like in set builder form, where set of x is x is a positive even integer and x is less than or equal to 10. So at this point we don't include 0, right?
Positive even number, Safa. Is 0 positive?
It is not.
Sorry, Safa. I didn't get you. What is 0 positive or 0 negative?
Sir, I don't think so. It's positive.
Okay, let's come to the definition again. Everything can be solved with the definitions, just like even numbers. What is a positive number? Okay, tell me this.
Oh my God, which has answer always.
Okay, so if any number, if ऐसे समझ के let's say मैं तेरे को 5 टॉफी देता हूँ, तो 5 टॉफी दी तो मैंने तेरे को तेरे पास टॉफीज बढ़ जाएंगी ना, राइट?
हाँ.
तो पॉजिटिव नंबर का मतलब ये है कि if you give that if you give positive quantity to someone, right?
Sorry, sir.
If you give positive quantity to someone, the value must increase, right?
Yeah.
And if you give negative number to someone, the value must decrease.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
But when you give 0 to someone, the value increases or decreases?
Neither. It does not.
Nothing.
Decrease.
It's a neutral number. It is neither positive nor negative.
Okay.
If you take 1, it's a positive number. If you take -1, it's a negative number. But if you take 0, neither it increases the value nor it decreases the value. So it should be neutral, right?
Okay,
so when I say positive, it starts after 0. And when I say negative, it starts below 0.
Okay.
But when I say non-negative. So non-negative माने कि negative नहीं होना चाहिए.
So everything apart from negative numbers?
Yeah. So it includes 0.
Okay, sir.
So there is a difference between non-negative and positive. Positive starts after 0, while non-negative starts, including 0.
And negative starts below 0.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's understand this formula now. So we have written that sum of first n odd numbers is equals to n square. Let's find out sum of first odd number. Sum of first odd number is basically 1. Sum will also be 1. 1 is equals to 1 square. Now sum of first two odd numbers. Sum of first two odd numbers yani ki 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3 is 4, which is nothing but 2 square. Two odd numbers, 2 square. Now I will add three odd numbers and you will observe that the sum should be 3 square, which is true. Let's find out sum of first four odd numbers. So this is a very interesting property which you may not observe like up to this point. But however odd numbers you are adding, can someone tell me what's the sum of this directly? It should be 16 square. There are 16. These are first 16 odd numbers. ऐसे समझ सकते हो 30 तक 15 होते. We have also written 31. 16 होते. This is 16 square, right? Now let's solve some questions based on these. If you understood these formally, the questions will be a cakewalk. Otherwise, you'll face problems. Yeah, come to the exercise 9.4 and it's page number 196 in your NCERT book. And let's solve question number 8, 9, and 10. Okay. These are basically 8th, 9th, and 8th question we will solve first. So we have been asked to find out the sum of first n terms. Okay. And nth term is given. Acha. चलो इससे पहले एक बात और सुनो मेरी. Let's understand one more thing. So these are like if we are given in the sum in this form, sigma I mean I square or I cube. Now this variable can be anything. This can be k square k cube. This can be n square n cube. This can be r square r cube. The variable can be anything. What I'm trying to say is there is a linear function, there is a quadratic function, there is a cubic function. Variable can be anything, it doesn't matter, right? The sum will be according to that. Okay, now let's understand there is an AP. Yeah, there is a sequence. Let's consider any general sequence. Let the sequence is A1, A2, A3, and this is your AN. So there are n terms in this sequence. I want to find out Sn. Sn bole to sum of n terms. Now this sum of n terms is, what is this sum? This would be A1, your first term, plus A2, plus A3, up to dash dot AN. This is basically the sum of first n terms. Should put in first n terms. Now, if I want to express this sum in the form of sigma, what I can do is, this is very 1, 2, 3 up to n. So I can write this as AI, where I started from 1 and goes up to n. This is AI. Now, what is AI? AI is your basically general term. If it's a progression, then your general term can be defined using some formula, right? Let's say it's an AP. So AP ki general term, we have already written this and studied this. that AP's general term, yani ki nth term, can be written as an plus b, linear expression in n. So if you know the nth term of an AP, you also know the sum. How? You just need to apply sigma over this general term, where n goes from 1 to whatever value, let's say n. What does that mean? N is from 1 to n. It means that n starts from 1, so it would be t1 plus t2 plus t3, and it goes up to tn. So this is a very basic formula. Basic money. This is, you have already studied Sn, but aap Sn ko, you can also write this in the form of sigma. So Sn is nothing but sigma over, Sn is nothing but sigma over general term. General term, nth term, whatever you want to say. Sigma over general term or nth term. This is your Sn. So you will not be directly given the series. Sorry, you will not be directly given this nth term. You will be given a series. From there, you will have to find the pattern, and then you will be able to solve the question.
I'm sorry, but can you explain for this AP once again?
Yeah. So I was just explaining that AP को भी हटा सकते हैं सफा. इस AP का कोई लेना देना नहीं. I was just trying to explain that how did we get Sn? Sn was nothing but sum of first n terms. So sum of first n terms can be written as t1 plus t2 plus tn, which can also be written as tn ka sigma, या ti ka sigma, या tr ka sigma, where r is from 1 to n. Did you get this transformation?
Yes, sir.
This is very important because you will be doing this in every question. Now let's understand how does this work. We have solved some basic series. जो भी हम example में आपको, I have solved some questions in examples, properties. I mean properties वाले में भी, and also while explaining the formulae, we have solved some basic series. Now let's understand some tough series. Let's okay. Let's start with 9.4, question number 1. Now, can I remove this?
Sir, can you repeat the question number?
Question number 1. So we are given this series 1 into 2 plus 2 into 3 plus 3 into 4 dot dot, and we have to find the sum of n terms here, right? So this is a series. For series to find Sn, you need to find Tn, that is the general term, or Tr, whatever you say. And then R, Tr will get summed over 1 to n. But for that, you need Tr. Now, what is Tr? General term. How would you find general term? Let's discuss this. But every question will start, whenever any series is given, every question will start from this, that Sn is equals to sigma Tr, where R is from 1 to n. Now, what is Tr? Tr is general term. How would we find general term? Understand this. You have to find the pattern. Can you spot the pattern between these terms? Like first term is 1 into 2, second term is 2 into 3, third term is 3 into 4. By spotting the pattern, what I mean is, can you tell me the fifth term of this series?
4 into 4.
No, 4 into 5 would be fifth term, Safa.
Which term you're asking, sir?
Fifth term. Okay, what would be the next term? So let's start with this only. What would be the next term of this series? What should be the next term?
4 into 5.
4 into 5, correct. Which is fourth term or fifth term?
Oh, fourth term.
Fourth term.
Then
right.
it would be 5 into 6.
So fifth term is 5 into 6. Sixth term is
6 into 7.
6 into 7. That is, so आपको सबसे पहले start यहाँ से करना है that try to form the next term. Then try to form 2-3 terms. As soon as you do this, you'll be able to get the general term. Just wait, guys. Yeah, sorry. So to find general term, you should find the fourth term. I mean, try to find out the next term, then next term, then next term, so that you get the pattern. Now, can you tell me, if I write 10th term, what should be that? First term was 1 into 2.
10 into 11.
10 into 11, good. So if I find TR, that is Rth term, what should be that term? Just try to find the analogy.
R into R plus 1.
R into R plus 1, correct. To find out any term, you need to multiply that term, I mean that number, with its next number, next consecutive number. So you can, what you can do is, you can simply write this as dot 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 plus n into n plus 1, that you now know the nth term would be this. So the rth term would be r into r plus 1, where r starts from 1 to n. Now how to solve this? आप distribute multiplication पे तो नहीं कर सकते. You can't distribute this sigma over this multiplication. So let's multiply them first. This would become r square plus r. R is from 1 to n. You can even distribute this. See, this only means that r is from 1 to n, right? You know this, the formula for this, n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6, plus this would be n plus 1 divided by 2. You can take n plus 1 by 2 common. You will be left with 2n plus 1 by 3 here, plus 1 here. And then you can solve the expression. So the crux is to find out the general term. As soon as you find out the general term, the question is doable because you know all the formulae. So Sn would come out. I'm writing the final answer. And n plus 1. Okay. Okay. N plus 2. Yeah. 2, 3. Yeah. This should be the final answer. We'll be solving this in the next class as well. Also come with your doubts. Tomorrow we will finish this chapter series, sequence and series. We'll be solving 4 or 5 questions tomorrow from series. and then I'll be taking your doubts from series as well as sequences. Okay. Try to solve some more questions from the series part. These are very easy. I mean, not very easy, but these are doable stuff. You just need to find this general term. And how to find general term? To find general term, you need to observe the pattern. Observe the pattern, try to write fourth term, then try to write fifth term. You can also try to find analogy that T4 is 4 into 5. तो यहां से आपको देखो डायरेक्टली पता चल रहा है that if it's TR, then it should be R in